Hey, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you all. Happy Monday. Glad you're here. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Vic Strizius. We're going to be talking about, oh my goodness, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. All right, we're going to be talking about traffic. We're going to be talking about a list building. We're going to be talking about a lot of great stuff here. Welcome as you're joining over here. This is going to be our second, like part two, if you will. Part two of becoming a powerful promoter. Okay, how many of you guys were here with me? Before Christmas, I think we started our part one, becoming a powerful promoter. We had a lot of fun, right? Obviously, we hung out, a few more times since that time. But dude, I'm excited to be back with you here. Let's talk about traffic. If that's what you want to talk about, want to talk about something else, we can talk about something else. We can talk about the weather too. Okay, because you guys are coming over here again. I appreciate you. Appreciate the shares. Appreciate the interaction. That's what I like. I like this kind of a interaction going on. So here's what I thought we would talk about. Okay, a lot of people have this idea of traffic generation, that kind of consumes them, right? And so I figured we would just tackle that. Okay. If you're just here, just tuning in, you have no idea who I am. Again, my name is Vic Strizius. I am a founder and creator of the 4% Group. Been online for quite a few years, 13 years now, going on 13 years. Did a bunch of different things, failed a lot, succeeded a lot, and had everything in between. Had my ups and downs. It was a crazy, amazing, in some cases wild ride. But we're here, and that's what matters. It's not. It's not about sometimes about the stuff that you're going through. It's about where you're going. That matters the most. Okay, so I want to know how you guys doing. We're going to be getting started here momentarily, and then I'm going to dive into this. We're gonna just hang out. There's no professional production here. There's just my iPhone, and I'm talking to you. And I like to hear. I like to see your comments. I like to see what you're all about. I've got three pillars we're going to be talking about. Okay, becoming a powerful promoter. Number one is going to be attracting. Okay, how do you attract people into your world? Okay, how do you get them onto your list? And this has to do with list building a lot. Okay. Tammy says likes the sweater. Thank you very much, Tammy. Pillar number two is going to be all about persuasion and influence. How many of you? I wonder how many people here would be interested in talking about persuasion skills, like influence stuff. Probably one of the greatest skills that you can master is influence, especially if you're dealing with people, because a lot of people get hung up on this idea of, how do I sell whatever I'm selling? But at the end of the day, man, you're dealing with people. So we'll talk about that. In fact, mark your calendars for Thursday. Okay, this coming Thursday of this week. Okay, we're going to be back here again, solely talking about influence. And then, of course, how do we convert? Right? How do we convert? And when I'm talking about converting, I'm not talking about just sales. I'm talking about converting, converting people to be your lifelong fans and followers, and people that you will be serving and delivering great value to, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the agenda. That's kind of the what we've got to that we're going to be tackling here. Persuasion and influence. How many Francine, wants to talk about? How many of you guys are interested? Because the last thing I want is like impose something on you. Okay, tell me what you like. Tell me what do you think is the most important? What do you think is the most important of three? Do you think is that traffic generation? Do you think is that the skill of attracting people into your world, or do you think is the skill of of being able to influence people, or a skill of converting people? Okay, what do you think the most important skill is? While you do that, let me check on something over here. I wanna tell you guys something. So last couple streams that we did, okay, a lot of you guys shared a lot of that, okay? And so what we're doing is, a lot of you guys who were already added as Because what I'm doing is I'm cleaning up my friends. You know, my friends, I have a lot of people who I don't even know who they are. They never engage. So we're doing a lot of the cleanup. And so when we get maxed out there, we're basically going to be converting everybody to like to a different platform. But those guys who have shared, we know who you are, appreciate you. Okay, thank you for that. I have somebody actually going through that and identifying you, and you'll be contacted personally. If you haven't yet, you'll be getting contacted. And priority number one is going to be to get you into my friends list, okay, on Facebook. Because if you're engaging, okay, I want to make sure that you're on my friends list. And then number two is we're going to be putting out a lot of really, really cool stuff in 2017. Okay, and those people that engage will be getting the coolness. Okay, Miles, let's see, he just okay, bro, you accidentally unfriended me. Miles, sorry man, Miles Seegers, he's like, you accidentally unfriended me, or your peeps did. Okay, sorry about that, man. We'll get you we'll get you back into that list again. Okay, so everybody doing good, yeah? Let's dive into this, guys. I don't want this to be for, going on for 2 hours. Hopefully, hopefully less than that. At the same time, I got nothing to sell to you. So I'm going to talk about ideas that worked for me. As always, that's the only thing I can teach you. And this is part two. If you missed part one, you can just find it. If you're a 4% group member. By the way, how many of you guys here are members of the 4%? 4% group members. Give me like a heart or something. Give me like a, I'm a 4% member, something like that. We're just gonna hang out, man. If you know me, I don't try to act to be somebody I'm not. Never done that. Don't recommend you do that either. Be yourself. I don't care about coming out too professional, saying things correctly. Dude, I'm in the trenches. I'm doing stuff, and so I'm just gonna share with you what I've done that worked, what I've done that didn't work, and you take it for what it's worth, and that's about it. If you choose to become a member of the 4%, you can. There should be a link somewhere, around this that you can join us for free. It doesn't cost you anything, doesn't require a credit card. We do have a paid option, okay, which is called a pro level membership. If you're somebody that wants to go deeper with us and go further with us, that's available. But if you're somebody who wants to get a mentor, this is the big problem in this industry. Is people are like, okay, man, I need to have a mentor. Somebody please mentor me, right? And so they make this thing so complicated. Mentor me. So we said, okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna give people an ability to get mentored for free and give them better mentorship that for free, by the way, that they would get by paying like $2,000 to somebody else. And so we created, this thing called 7 Steps to Results program from the 4% group. It doesn't cost you a dime, doesn't require a credit card. You can sign up, go through it, see if it's for you. Great, roll with us. If it's not, we wish you all the best in the world and go find somebody that you're happy with, But it's been a very fun experience, for us. And so we're planning on doing more of the of this kind of stuff, delivering tremendous value, and hopefully, you take it, apply it, get result, go out there and, share it with somebody else and make your own difference. At the end of the day, it's about doing what you want to do that makes you happy. Cool? Okay, let me ride the magic carpet roller coaster. Pearl, good to see you, man. Angie, good to see you. 4% are batted. Austin Tools, always good to see you, man. Okay, we have a lot of you guys. By the way, we have a conference coming up that I'll tell you guys about a little bit later on. Okay, so check it out. Okay, let's talk about influence, or talk about this powerful promoter stuff. So if you're promoting anything, right? We talked about this, in part 1. So if you're promoting anything at all, okay, I think it's important for for us to go about it with a certain mindset. At least for me, that is. I don't know about you, but at least for me, it's important to go about this with a certain mindset. And that mindset is this. I'm going to be. Let me see if this is better. Maybe this is a little bit better. That mindset to me was, okay, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to become really, really good at it. Okay, at least I'm going to strive for it, right? Don't ever settle for average or mediocre because it doesn't pay. There's a lot of averages out there. And so when I'm going to show you guys something else. Just gotta get my Kangen water over here. started drinking this Kangen water about, I don't even know, 2 years ago. Love it. We might have to, 4%ers, we might have to bring this product, okay, into, at least create a funnel for it or something like that. It's incredible, okay? Good stuff, I like it. Becoming a powerful promoter, okay? Doesn't matter what it is you're promoting. To me, it's 3 parts, okay? It's 3 parts. Appreciate that, Riaz. By the way, I appreciate the shares, you guys. Those guys who shared this, again, we know who you are. My staff is on it, okay? And we'll be sending you guys cool stuff. You engage, okay? Share. What's engagement? It's shares, likes, you know, comments. Interact with me. Tell me what you think about this stuff. That's what Facebook is for. It's not, you know, the last thing I want to do is just talk to my phone here. I want to. My big vision here is to build a community of like-minded people, and then help these people expand. And you know, and go after whatever it is that they want to do in the world, whatever it is that you're promoting. I'm not here to peddle a program to you. We have a portfolio model. We can be endorsing anything. We can be promoting any product in the world. Okay, heck, I can be promoting pens. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm a free entrepreneur, just like you are. Okay, so you know, I'm not here to sell you one program or another or whatever. I'm here to hopefully serve you, and that's it. So 3 things. Okay, a lot of people fail because they overcomplicate, you know, this whole marketing process. The marketing process consists of 3 things. If you want to become really, really good at it, make sure that you can, you know, simplify it down to the ridiculous that you can understand. Okay, to me at least, that's important. And if I can understand it, when I can map it out on paper, and I can say, okay, I've got these 3 boxes here. Okay, so if I'm promoting a product, you know, whatever that product might be, you know, I've got 3 boxes that. Shut my computer down here. I've got 3 boxes. Okay, box number 1, I'm gonna call it. You know, a lot of people do this push marketing approach. You know, we talked about it. You know, if you follow me for any period of time, you know, people push their product onto the marketplace, right? I got this pen. I want to sell this pen over here. Or I got this Kangen water over here. I think it's so awesome. You know, man, I'm so fired up about it. But all I see in this water right here is commissions. Okay, and if that's all I see is commissions. When I look at my product, you're messed up. Okay, you're screwed. You know, it's not gonna. You're gonna be average. Okay, so you gotta go strategically about your marketing. So this is to me. I mean, I'm talking to me. I'm talking to, you know, the 4%ers. You guys are here. A lot of you guys from the 4% group. A lot of you guys have no idea who we are. You're just here, just maybe kind of like this. Okay, just kind of, you know, fishing for some nuggets. So my approach, my attitude towards marketing, it needs to be specific, and that specificity to me is attraction. Okay, how do I attract my marketplace? So there is that's box number 1, if you will. Okay, so if you can imagine, if you can picture this first box, maybe we'll put it over here, right? This first box is called attraction. Okay, if you're writing things, making notes, right? So you got attraction over here. Okay, how do you attract people into your world? Consider this like the front door to your house. Okay, now people don't know when they step into that house. They don't know what it's like. They don't know if it's messy. They don't know if it's clean. They don't know if it's like, if it smells good. If it's, you know, if it's got, you know something crazy going on inside the house. You know, it doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying, right? So that's like the front door. Now when people get in, okay, there's another box that we need to really, really master. Okay, and that's called influence. Okay. Because now they're in our house, and we're going to be covering all this stuff. By the way, this influence stuff we're going to be talking about this coming Thursday. Okay, if you guys are just joining in here, Thursday, all about influence, very, very important. And then obviously there is a 3rd box called conversion. And when I say conversion, I'm not talking about converting to sales. I'm not talking about selling a Kangen water machine, okay, or something else. You know, I'm not talking about selling this pen or this mouse or whatever it is that you're selling. I'm talking about converting a person into a lifelong, you know, follower. Okay, that's really my mindset. Okay. So when I approach it like that, okay, my thinking, my paradigm, the way I approach it, the way I present my stuff, the way I go about it, the way I talk to my people, these whole 3 boxes are connected. Okay, but somebody got to go from box 1 to box 2 to box 3. The outcome is obviously box 3, and to me at least, You know, I don't want to see myself in a transaction business. I was there, you know, when I was getting started. You know, I was just going for the money, and just, you know, sales. Of course, it's important, okay? It's important. And I'm not saying to discount that kind of stuff. Dude, money is extremely important. You know, it's not everything in life, but like, I think Zig Ziglar said, it's like right up there with like oxygen, okay? Oxygen is not everything, but it's pretty important. You know, it's kind of difficult to live without it, okay? Kind of difficult to live without money, would you say? So let's get this thing straight, okay? Money is important, but it needs to, my strategy and approaching the marketplace is got to be a little bit different though, okay? And it's got to be genuine, okay? Because if it's not genuine, people will see it. Like, check it out for yourself. You can probably smell a phony a mile away, right? If somebody's peddling, you know, smoke, you know, to you, you can probably tell. You know, a lot of us, you know, we're not, you know, I mean, we weren't born yesterday, you know, and people are, you know, people are getting smarter and smarter. As far as, you know, this community is concerned. So I remember when people, you know, when autoresponders first came out, right? And you could like, you know, you could merge somebody's first name into the email address, right? And they would be like, oh my goodness, I got a personal email. This person actually wrote a personal email to me. Well, everybody knows that's not the case these days. You know, so people, the marketplace gets, you know, becomes smarter. So the name of the game here is be legit, man. Is be genuine, right? Is be real, and really approach the marketplace, you know, people that you're serving as your best friends, that you would like them to become your customers, and not even your customers, but your, you know, your fans and your followers, somebody that look up to you for life, okay? So any action that I do, okay. Somebody says Michael Taylor has been following me since 2010. I appreciate that, Michael. So what is that, like 6 years? You know, 7 years or something like that? January 2010, 7 years. Appreciate it, man. That's good. So genuine attraction, okay, is what I'm after here, okay? The box number one. So tonight I wanted to just spend a little time with you and just talk about this box number one, which is attraction. How do I attract people, okay? That will include traffic, but a lot of people start off with the wrong thing. You know, when they start off with traffic, you know, they already failed. Okay, because there's something that precedes traffic. Okay, so first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify what am I selling. Okay, what am I selling? Is this the Kangen water? You know, you can't see it, but I got a glass full over here. Kangen water, awesome thing. By the way, you know, it's good for you too. You know, so if I'm selling this pen or this product or whatever it is that I'm selling, whatever company I'm endorsing, okay, I got to go beyond that product. So this is my approach. I'm just going to voice out my approach to you guys. And then I'm going to tell you how you can potentially put everything together and actually see all this stuff that I'm talking about in action. You know, and it's going to make sense, I think. So go beyond the product. That's step number one. Before traffic, before anything else, okay? Go beyond the product. Now, what I want to do is, let's say a lot of people, how many of you guys are here? Tell me, please respond to me, and tell me if you are in some sort of a network marketing company. Some sort of maybe a direct sales company, or maybe you represent, you build a team, you're building a team, right? I'm going to put it in a metaphor for you that I think everybody will understand. Okay, transparency above board. Okay, everything above, everything transparent needs to be. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Christopher is some sort of a network marketing. Okay, so check this out. I have a little bit of an experience, you know, promoting network marketing companies. Right, I started out, never promoted it before. This was a few years ago, and then I entered into a space, and you know, our team became like number one team, like literally within weeks. Okay, and the reason, or kind of the strategy there, if you're working with people, okay, so there's obviously a lot of people, you know, watching this and different scenarios and different, you know, things you can be doing with whatever you're doing. So I'm going to talk to those of you guys who are building teams right now. Okay, so if you are building a team. Okay, if you're building a team, if you have people working with you, if you want to build organizations, think of whatever company that you're representing, because in most cases you probably represent a company. Okay, Enegic, for example, I see a lot of people promoting Enegic. I'll just show you the styrofoam glass here, but you know, Enegic. You know, I've got a water machine here. It's a great company. I don't promote it right now. I got nothing to do. I'm not even an affiliate of Enegic right now. You know, so I can use that as an example, because some people say, oh Vic, you're just promoting other, you know, whatever it is, you know, your own deal. I can be promoting anything. Again, I can be promoting Apple computers, you know. I don't know if they have an affiliate program, but I love the product. So check it out. When you are a part of an organization, okay, look at your organization that has you know, the product that you're selling. Don't look at the products, look beyond the product, and look to identify, okay, step number one before traffic, okay, is identify specific result that the product delivers, but more importantly, identify the skyscraper, okay? So check it out. I'll give you a perfect metaphor to think about, okay? Here's the thing. People, we go to Miami a lot, right? So my family and I, so when we, a lot of time, if you ever been to like a city, maybe, with like an ocean city or something like Miami is a perfect example, right? You go there and there's like A1A, right? This Ocean Drive. And so there's a bunch of skyscrapers there, right? And these skyscrapers, okay, they're selling, condos for $30 million, $40 million, okay? Who in the world will pay $40 million for a one-bedroom condo? Okay, not a lot of people. So when I look at this, I'm like, okay, this is a perfect metaphor for business. So what am I doing? If I am in business and I belong to a company, okay, can that company be looked at as a beautiful, awesome, this magnificent skyscraper? So I either want to be a part of a skyscraper, or I want to build a skyscraper myself. Okay, a lot of people, it's kind of difficult to build a skyscraper, but I can be a tenant of a skyscraper, metaphorically speaking, right? And so in that case, I would, when I would promote that, I would sell the view. Okay, I would sell the view. So every product delivers a specific result. This pen writes, this whatever, Kangen water gives you specific, health benefits or whatever. And so that's really what I talk about. So I want to go beyond the product. Okay, does that make sense? Again, in my experience, people don't want to buy products, but people love to buy the view. So that the $30 million condo that sells in Miami, okay, the real estate agent doesn't sell, the walls, the condo, right? They sell the view. That's what people really are paying for, right? So keep that in mind if you're promoting anything else. Now it's possible for you to build, even if you're promoting an affiliate program, or even if it's your own program and you're not building a team, okay, it is very possible for you to engineer or manufacture, okay, that perceived value for what it is that you're selling. Okay, because that's really what people are buying. Okay, so that's step number one, is go beyond the product and really identify before you start putting together landing pages. I'll show you some examples of the landing pages that converted well for me. We'll talk about traffic here in a minute. Okay, number two, okay, is before I create landing pages, before I start generating traffic or write ads, okay, I want to become my own prospect. Okay, I want to become my own prospect. Again, take this information for what it's worth. If it helps you, great. If it doesn't help you, do what you think is best for you, for your business. For me, this is how I approach marketing, and that's the only thing I can tell you, is how I do things, okay, myself. Step number two is I approach this as being my own prospect first, okay, my own prospect. So if I was in my own, seeing my own ads or potential ads, how would I like to see those ads? Okay, how would I like to see? What would get me to respond? Okay, what would get me? What would get my interest? Okay. Hold on one sec. Forbes Riley just texted me. Hold on. George, makes sense, yeah? Okay. Now, step number three, you guys, and this is like most people don't get it, okay? But it worked really, really well for me. Everything, ever since 2010 when I discovered it, okay, I always use this approach, okay? And that is this: you want to create, okay? You want to engineer your own sizzle, if you will, okay? Your own sizzle. Some people call it, lead magnet. Some people call it whatever. Okay, I want to say, you know what? I want to create something that would sell the product indirectly. Okay. Now I'm only talking about attraction. I'm not talking about selling or converting yet. You see what I'm saying? This is the stuff that I'm thinking through. When I want to push a product into the marketplace. that's the kind of stuff that I'm thinking through, so that my approach, okay, I want to create a pull, I want to create a magnetic field, right, with my with my marketing. Okay, so when I say, okay, so how many of you guys go back with me for at least 2 years? If you're here, you go back with me for at least 2 years. Okay, I've discovered this concept back in 2010 when I was promoting. Many of you know that story. I was promoting this product called Directory of E-Zines, right? And it was by Charlie Page. It was a ClickBank product, 2010. I was just Miles goes back with me to that, yeah. And so this product, everybody was selling this product, but I was implementing this strategy even before that. When I was learning, it was 2005 when I got started online. And I was failing, didn't know, what to do. And then my mentor said, somebody I was learning from, he's like, dude, how do you stand out, right? So you got to stand out. And I'm like, okay, that's, how do I stand out? So this was like 2006. I started to really, when I was promoting and selling direct sales, products from a direct sales company, right? I started not to focus on the company, but I started to focus on the coaching that I was giving. Okay, so I sold my sizzle at that time was really the coaching. Okay, because a lot of people were failing, and what I was doing is I went out there and I got a little bit of result. Okay, I ran an ad. Again, many of you guys know that story. I ran an ad, right? And and I've got 20 subscribers to my list. My first 20 subscribers ever. Right? So these people wanted to build an online, they wanted to succeed online, promoting somebody else's products. So they needed to understand traffic generation. Now, they're my first 20 people. I don't have a big list. I don't have a big experience. I haven't sold a single product yet, right? But I started to think, okay, these guys want a specific result, okay? And I'm promoting this company here, okay, that they can use as a vehicle. Now, how do I talk to them? So I created a sizzle. Basically, I said, I'm just going to teach you how I got 20 leads, because that's like, everybody understands that they need to get leads before they can get sales, right? So I told them exactly what I did. So I started to create this little coaching concept for myself that worked really, really well for me at that time. So I would run an ad like on Craigslist, get 20, 30 subscribers, and then email these 20 subscribers saying, hey, you guys dial this phone number, freeconferencecall.com. I'm going to teach you how I got 20 leads in a single day, right? Didn't talk about sales. You never want to, you talk about what you've got, okay? You work with what you got. So the intention is important though. Your intention's got to be there. So if you did not create, if you didn't get 20 leads or 20 visitors, or if you didn't get a sale, if you didn't, do something yourself, and you trying to teach something you didn't do, you're a pretender, okay? So always lead from the authority, stemming from the authority base, okay? So I told them how I got the 20 subscribers. So that kind of evolved into, weekly coaching, and then, monthly every single week I was providing coaching. So I created myself a landing page, okay? Promoting a company over here, but nobody even knew about the company, okay? My box number 1 was my landing page for the coaching that I was doing on a weekly basis. Okay, so I was basically giving away coaching for free. Okay, and that attracted people. Okay, that created a pool. There was a zero resistance. Write this down. If you can create a zero resistance point of entry into your funnels or into your world, okay, while being genuine and authentic and not manipulative. Okay, just being true, because this is this is the only way to go about it. Okay, you cannot trick people into sales. It's not good for you. It's not good for them. It's not good for anybody. Okay, and you're not building yourself, a long-term, when you do something, think to me, I want to think long-term, right? I want to have people that would, that would follow my free advice, and they implement the free advice, and they will get great results from it. Okay, so that way, you build your foundation on on some solid grounds. Make sense? So that's what I did. Now, then in 2010, I really took this concept to another level. I started to, when I say creating a sizzle, so I was promoting this Director of E-Zines, right, by Charlie Page, and I created a little mini training for it. I called it the 48-hour cash machine. Again, it's a sizzle piece, right? It's a lead magnet, it's a sizzle piece, because that's what people really, really want. And I would give that away, okay? I would give that away for free. But this sizzle piece really, really connected with people, which is step number 4, okay? Step number 4, which is your landing page, okay? See, if I want to sell this product, I'm gonna take them to the process, okay? And I hope this makes sense to you guys. I'm trying to explain this like in the simplest possible way, So I'm getting traffic to my sizzle, to my landing page, okay? Capture page that talks about the little pre-sale piece over here. And I'll tell you guys, if you're wondering how do you put all this together, I'll tell you exactly, where you can, how you can model this literally starting tonight if you wanted to, okay? In just a minute here, okay? Because we've really, really broke this down to made it foolproof, for anybody to follow. Okay, let me know if this makes sense though. Okay? I really don't like talking theory too much. Okay? But appreciate the shares, you guys. Those of you guys who are sharing this thing, appreciate you. Okay? I wanna do more practice because there's a lot of theory there. But again, if you know a little bit of the conceptual side of things, right? And then I show you how to do it in action, then you'll become unstoppable. Okay, makes complete sense. Okay, good. Thanks, Rick, for the feedback. Andrew, bingo. Okay, Gus, good. Okay, appreciate you guys. Love the feedback too. Okay, so check it out. The 48-hour cash machine, for those guys who go back with us, right? It was a 3-video piece that we gave away for free that led to selling, this Director of E-Zines, right? And our conversion was through the roof. Why? Because there was a relationship, right, build up prior to asking for a sale or prior to even presenting a product, okay? Now what happens here is there's a few things happening psychologically. It's very, very important. If you're promoting a product, if I'm promoting a Kangen right here, right, a water machine or whatever, I'm not, okay? That's like a perfect example for me to use right now. Maybe I will one day. I think I probably will because I love the product. So I'm probably gonna get bombarded with like join me emails. No, I'm seriously thinking about bringing possibly, okay? I'm just thinking out loud here in front of like 700 people. Bringing the products from that company into one of our portfolio products because it's really, really good. I really, really like that stuff. Anyway, so check it out. If I wanted to sell water, right, something like as mundane as a water machine, that's everybody else in the world might be selling, and there's so much competition out there. Do I really want to compete with all these guys right here that are doing that? I don't, right? So whatever product that I'm selling over here, the best thing that I can do is I can separate myself from the competition. Just separate it. Let these guys play this game here. I want to create my own game with my own rules, right? I want to create my own, my own sizzle over here, okay? That I can be competing with them. Not really competing, but really dominating them indirectly, okay? Never, ever, ever promote anything directly, because if I promote this machine directly, I'm competing with everybody else. But if I can create a sizzle that's separate, see what I'm saying? That doesn't talk about anything like that. Maybe, maybe it's an awareness video that I give away for free, okay? But I got them to that video by them opting into my email list. So now they're in my email. Again, box number 1 did its job. Make sense? Now they are in my world. And so now we go into building this relationship. We're in this relationship, build up mode right now. And I call it the influence mode. Okay. What's influence? Take a look at this. Okay. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let me see if I can flip this. All right, check it. Let's check it out together, right? Have you ever looked influence? Okay. Influence. Okay, check it out, right? So what is influence? The capacity to have an effect, okay, on the character, development, or behavior of someone else, someone or something, okay, or the effect itself. So look, if people are coming to my, and this is like, I need to understand, a lot of people talking about influence, but I'm like, okay, dude, what is influence? What is influence? A lot of people think of the word influence as like it's like this manipulative thing, okay, and it's the furthest thing from the truth, right? And I gotta approach it like that. So if I have a human, okay, if I have a subscriber on my list, okay, my my thinking is that it's not just a number, okay? It's a person. It's got he's got a name, he's got a wife, a husband, maybe some kids, maybe dreams, desires, first name, last name, all that good stuff. It's like a human being, right? So if I approach my business from that perspective, so this third middle box over here for me, right, where I'm building up influence, I'm taking it with a certain approach, right? I'm taking a certain approach. So a lot of marketers, have you guys heard somebody else teaching saying, hey, the more you email, the more you earn, right? The more emails you send, the more you earn. What's their approach? Okay? What's their approach? Right? Their approach is just numbers, okay? It's just numbers. I'm gonna hit that send button to print cash. And that can be true in a way, right? It can be true. Is that the approach I want to take? Not really. Okay? Selling is the transference of feelings. Okay? Sales is nothing more than transference of feelings. Okay? It's how I feel about my list, how I feel about people, how I feel about whoever I'm dealing with. Okay? It's not necessarily the numbers game, Henry. Okay? It's not necessarily the numbers. It is a numbers game, but if I approach it like sales is a numbers game, what is that really telling me? Okay? What am I really telling myself? I don't care about people. Now tell me if like what you feel about this, right? If I say just sales is just a numbers game, man, I just go, right? It's true, but it messes me up psychologically. Because as soon as I start thinking or seeing sales as a numbers game, okay, I put numbers above people, don't I? Okay? Now, when I do that, I'm at a disadvantage, at a major, major disadvantage when I do that. Because people always come senior, okay, before anything else, before numbers. So to me, sales is not really a numbers game, because if I have one subscriber on my list, you know what? That one subscriber can become my lifelong customer. And all I need is just one. Okay, so if I look at that subscriber as somebody that, I'd like to influence to do something that's good for them, for what they came in for, okay, and there is a congruency in my entire, flow, okay, then I can do something with it. That make sense? So for example, when you write your emails, okay, if you think like, okay, I'm going to write an email today because I want to make $20 today or $500 today. Okay, I got 64 people to my house today. Paul, you got 64 subscribers, bro. You know what I would do is I would email those 64 subscribers, and I would do a Facebook hangout just like this one, or maybe I would invite them to a freeconferencecall.com and connect with them personally. Say, hey guys, my name is Paul. Okay, you're on my list. I wanted to serve you. Okay, as a matter of fact, okay, before you dial into this free number that I'm gonna give you this content, tell me what is your single biggest challenge that you're going through right now. Okay, and give them a little survey monkey survey, 3 questions. Okay, that's what I did. Okay, previously, and have them tell you what they need help with. And then, Paul, what you do for these 64 people is you go out of your way to research, okay, what they need to know. Or maybe they'll tell you, my challenge is whatever it is, and you already know how to handle that, right? So what you can do is you can now give them, a free advice in that area. Don't even worry about selling yet. Okay, so all of a sudden, those 64 people that, by the way, they're subscribed to other people's lists as well, now they got an email from Paul, and it's different. It's not like everybody else, right? Do you think they'll be paying attention more to Paul's emails now than, 50 other marketers that just jam them into thinking you know, sales is a numbers game, and I've got to press send, you know, button 5 times a day and mail my list 5 times a day. Does that make sense? Paul, does that make sense to you? Okay, so congratulations, you got 64 people. I remember when I was getting started with 20 people on my list, you know, and you build it up, you know, in 20, one day, if you keep at it, man, it's going to grow from, you know, 64 to 640 to 6,400 and then 640,000 and above, you know. So that's that. Okay, makes sense? So the sizzle for me has always been indirect selling. Always, always, always. And my landing page is like whatever. I never create a landing page directly for the product. Okay? Never. Even if I'm promoting my own stuff. Okay? I always create something that's like a buffer. Okay? A buffer thingy. That further creates relationship and desire for this main product that I'm selling over here. Okay, pretty basic stuff. I mean, it's not, you know, you probably heard other people explain this. You know, it's a simple launch model, but so many people are not, you know, utilizing this, and there is really no reason why. With all the information that's available out there, it's pretty simple to do. Okay. Now, then once I've identified this stuff, okay, now, you know, at this time, now I'm going to brainstorm my landing page ideas. Okay, how do I create a landing page that would talk to this person who at the end of the day wants this, but his sizzle that I can present to him is this, that separated me from this main product, that eliminates the competition. Make sense? And now I'm creating a landing page. Let me show you something that's pretty crazy. Okay, so I was getting started. Hold on a second. I remember when I was getting started, okay, I did not have, you know, now there are tools like, you know, ClickFunnels and all these, you know, different, you know, page builders and et cetera, et cetera. My approach has always been a little bit different, okay? I would literally, this is how, and I still have it here, okay? Let me show you something. Okay, take a look at this. See this page? Okay, what do you think about this page? Okay, see this? Write this down. Never allow anybody else to control your outcome. Okay? This page right here, you guys, okay? I'm using a Mac here, okay? So it's a Keynote. It was built in Keynote. It's not a page builder. It's a PowerPoint, man. Okay? It's a PowerPoint. See this? See this? It's PowerPoint, okay? Slide number 1, it's a Keynote, okay, on a Mac. And I did this all manually. This was a long time ago, okay? A long time ago. Okay, see this here? So why did I do this? Okay, look, at that time, I did not have access to the, you know, to like lead pages or ClickFunnels or anything like that, right? So I went to freelancers, right? And I found a freelancer, you know, I did not want him to come up with the concept of the landing page for me, okay? Because I don't know, you know, he's not a marketer, right? I'm a marketer. He's not a marketer. So what I did is I opened up my Keynote, okay? And I said, I'm going to drop a little background image here, okay? See this? It's a background image, okay? And then I'm going to drop this little box over here. I'm going to take this box right here, okay? Boom, drop a little box. And then I'm going to drop this text inside the box. See, I can move all this stuff, right? It's a Keynote, man. And I literally designed it, mocked it up, okay? I did a mock-up of this. And then I send it to, to a designer, a freelancer. And I say, hey, dude, replicate this, create it just like this. You know, create my page to be identical to this one, okay? And that's how, you know, I was first building out these landing pages, okay? Very, very simple. See that? Okay, I'll tell you about traffic here in just a moment. Okay, so here's a big takeaway that I've got from it. Okay, don't ever allow anybody to control your outcome for you. Okay, a lot of people are a little lazy. Okay, especially in our community, in our world here. Okay, a lot of people think, you know, they just take the road of least resistance. Okay, so they're like, I don't want to, I don't think I can create it, so I'm just going to let somebody else do it, and then just kind of throw the ball into their court. Well, what are you doing really? You're giving away the power to somebody else. Now, today, it's even easier with ClickFunnels, dude. There's ClickFunnels, there's Lead Pages, there's Kajabi's, there's all these different tools that, that are available to us that makes this like just as simple as that. I'll show you guys something that we're doing here. If you're not in the 4%, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, this is like crazy. Okay. So think about it like this, okay? Never allow anybody, okay, or never rely on anybody to send you traffic, okay? To create an outcome for your perception, like how do you want, when you create your door over here, that has to come from you, okay? That has to come from you. So you gotta be, if you're just getting started, you have no idea how to do this. If you're like completely new, it's okay to be a tenant of a skyscraper, okay, that I covered earlier today, okay, a few minutes ago. And if you just tune in later, you can just watch a replay of this, okay, because that's attractive. However, you still want to, especially with all the tools that's available now with ClickFunnels and all that, all that stuff, I highly recommend that you have your own version, okay, of the landing page that can make you stand out a little bit different, just a little bit different, okay, so that you can, you can run ads alongside with all these other, your competition here. But just because you stand out a little bit, right, all of a sudden, you have a little bit of a different custom wrapper. Okay, that's just not like what everybody else is doing. Does that make sense? Okay, Sean is saying awesome. Okay, good. Okay, so now that I have the landing page, right? And I'll show guys all this landing page creation stuff. How many of you need help with like an in-action type training on building out landing pages? How many of you guys need help with that? Anybody? Like if you're like, okay, dude, just help me, just show me how to build up landing pages. Let me grab something over here. I want to talk to you about traffic. I'll give you my traffic blueprint. Okay? Here's what I'll tell you about landing pages, okay? Landing pages, building them is not difficult, okay? Psychology is more difficult than the building of the landing page, okay? Because with again, ClickFunnels does it, Lead Pages does it. The copy, what do you put? What's going on through your head when you build it, right? That's most important, okay? So I'll tell you something that we're doing. You can get access to it for free, okay? We have this thing. I'll show you here in a minute. I want to talk to you a little bit about traffic, okay? So landing pages is not an issue, okay? Traffic is not an issue, okay? How many people watching this right now? And even if you're watching this recorded, okay, let me know because I do skim through the comments, okay? This will also give, everybody else a perspective as well. How many people here think that traffic is is something that's like super hard? Okay? Let me show you something. We're gonna have some fun up in here. Look at this. So see, that's how we're gonna do it, man. We're gonna just walk with an iPhone here, but I want to show you. Okay, several months ago, we did this training about traffic. Okay, let me show you. I'm gonna simplify this down to the ridiculous for you. Okay, if that's okay with you. Okay, so check it out. Hopefully you can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Let me know if you can see my screen here. Yeah. Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, cheap targeted traffic. Check it out. What is traffic really? Okay, what is traffic? Okay, it's just places where people, your potential prospects may hang out, right? Now, when we go there, boom, look at this. These are some of the possible places where we can go for traffic. Okay, very, very simple. Look, we can go for blogs, forums, Facebook groups, right? Google groups, other people's lists, and by the way, in that there is couple other things that we can go for. We can go for other people's platforms, okay? such as, you know, personal blogs, personal Facebook followings. We can tap into that. You know, influencers. We can tap into some of the influencers on Instagram, right? Twitter, LinkedIn, etc., and we can tap into those pools, okay? Of course, you know, a lot of this stuff we're diving into. I'll tell you how. Other people's lists, okay? So bloggers are building lists. Click resellers, we can tap into that kind of stuff. There's networks that we can tap into, okay? There is also like Facebook wall, okay? There was, you know, you can get a bunch of traffic from Facebook, posting stuff on Facebook wall. Affiliate networks, okay? There's LinkedIn, there's Twitter, there's live events you can get traffic. There's obviously, you know, all these different platforms that you can go to get traffic from. At the end of the day, okay, traffic is going to, okay, I'm just going to go to this flip chart here for you. For me, okay, again, I like simplicity, okay? So here's how I approach traffic. And this is something we're going to be, that I'm tackling inside of the Operation 100K, okay? So you guys know this, okay? There is the low-hanging fruit, okay? This circle here, okay? This is called email media. This is where this is your fastest, easiest, okay? Fastest, easiest way to get traffic is to tap into other people's lists that already have a list, okay? This can also be other platforms such as the SRDS, you know, directories, etc., okay? But this is going to be, this will get me the fastest traffic, probably the most predictable, easiest to convert traffic. Okay, very, very quickly. I can literally run, you know, an ad here and I can get results in like 2 hours, okay, or an hour and 30 minutes. I can literally start getting tons of traffic coming in with that. Now, I'll tell you a little bit more about how I approach this, okay? So I will identify, and I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing here in just a minute. My next layer, okay, is I want to go and expand. If my traffic works here, I'm going to expand it into pay-per-click, okay, pay-per-click campaigns. So this can be like, you know, pay-per-click traffic is really, really cool. Okay, so we're talking about like Facebook ads here. We're talking about Google, you know, YouTube, pay-per-click, etc., okay, so if it converts here, I will expand it here. I usually personally, again, this is just personal, you know, opinion. This is not right or wrong. This is just how I approach it, right? I would never start out a pay-per-click campaign without testing it, without testing my sizzle, my landing page, okay, that I'm promoting over here, this landing page. I would never test this landing page going straight to PPC without dabbling into email media first. This is just me, okay? Again, I'm not saying this is right or wrong. This is just how I approach it, okay? Because this is a lot cheaper, gets me a lot faster results, okay? And if it works here, most of the time, it will work here in this realm of pay-per-click. Make sense? Now, only if it works here, okay, I will go ahead and expand it to a third ring, and this third ring is going to be display media. Okay? Now, again, this is my approach. Again, I'm not saying this is right or wrong. This is just how I approach traffic generation, okay, and expansion. So, if it works here, boom, expand it here. If it works here, I'm going to expand it here, okay, into display media. Now, this can be like, you know, text ads. This can be, I can go to a broader, you know, different, bigger networks, right? Talking about, you know, YouTube, you know, I can go and start having my ads be popping up on different, you know, on some major networks out there. Okay, make sense? So again, same landing page, a slightly modified version of this landing page, because this landing page can be very, very simple, very basic, just kind of like the one I showed you earlier a few minutes ago, like those examples from early on, right? It would work. Literally, that kind of version would work really, really easy with email media. Okay, now that landing page will not necessarily work with pay-per-click because it's too short. Okay, so what I would do is I would take that landing page that works on this media here. Okay, I would keep the original and then I would make it longer. Okay, I would expand on it. Make sense? I would keep the like for example, let me do it here for you. Okay, see, this is how we. My goodness, we got 700 people watching this, and Vic is like doing the ghetto style. You know what? There's always, again, we're just hanging out. Okay, so if this is my original landing page, okay, the one that I just showed you, and again, if you just tuned in, you might want to watch this from the beginning, if you want. So if my original landing page only had this little, you know, this little box here, you know, with some text on it and then a button, okay. Now, this would work really good, and this is like a background image here, right? This would work great with email media. If I take this on pay-per-click, or display, for example, all right? If I take it to like Facebook, I'll get banned for life. You know, I'll go straight into Facebook jail. I don't want that, okay? It's not good. Now, what I could do is I could take the same landing page and I would just add to it. I would keep the top part, okay? I would add some navigation menus over here. I would say like home, you know, about, or more details, or whatever bullet points you might add over here on the bottom. You see what I'm saying? So I'm keeping the original that's working, okay? But I'm expanding. By the way, you guys, those of you guys who are going through the, you know, through the Operation 100K, okay, you will see me do this right before your eyes and expanding on it, okay? Expanding on it, because what you do is you are modeling a proven concept, okay? I don't want to be shooting in the dark. I don't want to be shooting like, I don't know, I'm going to create a totally brand new landing page for pay-per-click. I'm expanding and building on what's already working over here, okay? So I'm creating more content. I might add another headline, okay? I might add some bullet points over here, okay? I might expand it even further and add more testimonials, okay? More testimonials here. You see what I'm saying? But it's a proven concept. And I would add some text. And I would add another call to action, okay? Button or something like that, okay? So all of a sudden what I did is I took this short, okay, you know, maybe even hypey looking landing page, and I just built it out and made it pay-per-click compliant. Now the trick here is you've got to have some of these, like some menus, okay? So it's not just focused on getting an opt-in, so you got to have some information on it. And when somebody clicks on like, you know, more details, okay? This is like more details, you know, little menu, you know, navigation menu here. When they click on it, I'm gonna have the page scroll all the way down to this section to where it's talking about the details. So it's really, really easy to do. Okay, make sense? So same thing here. Okay, when that page converts and it pulls on pay-per-click, I'll bring it out to the display media, and if it works on display media, okay, my goodness, it's time to scale, baby. Okay, it's time to go crazy. I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna go nuclear. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you that later, okay? This is where I can get, you know, I'll just tell you. I'm going to tap into CPA networks, okay? I'm going to tap into CPA networks with a proven converter in this sphere, in this sphere, and in this sphere. And if I got 3 layers, okay, 3 different channels that it's converting on, I take it over here, game over. Watch me, okay? Does that make sense? Because over here, I can take a page that's been proven to convert, again, in 3 different spheres, okay? And I can get other affiliates. If I know my numbers, okay, very, very important, okay? Very important to know my numbers. If I have 1,000 visitors, 1,000 visitors hitting this page here, okay, what is my average conversion rate across these 3 different platforms here, okay? And I need to identify that. I need to know my conversion rate for email media, for pay-per-click, and for display media. Because why? When I go to CPA, I will give them the rules. Again, you don't want to have other people dictate you the rules, okay? You want to dictate the rules in your marketing. Does that make sense? So when you dictate your rules, what you need to do is you need to understand what kind of rule. Before you can make the rules, you got to understand what's working, what's not working, right? So if I go to a CPA network, for example, they'll ask me, okay, what kind of traffic do you want to run? Well, will I tell them any kind of traffic? That's what most people will, okay? That's a big mistake because you can go broke. You can lose your shirt going that way, right? So guess what I'm going to tell them? I'm going to tell them to run the traffic that I have tested and proven to convert and work out. CPA stands for call per action, okay? There are CPA networks. This is advanced stuff. Don't dabble into CPA. Like if you don't know what CPA is, don't go there because you might get, you know, this is, I mean, you might get burned pretty bad, okay? Okay, cost per action, yeah. So when I go to CPA and put this landing page, right, here's what I would do. I would say, okay, in email, okay, what's my conversion rate with email, okay? Out of 1,000 people that visit it, maybe I get 300, maybe it's 30%, maybe 300 people convert. Okay, what about pay-per-click? Well, pay-per-click will probably get me more conversions because it's a little bit more targeted traffic, because email, you know, it's a bit of a pushy way to, you know, you're kind of getting in front of people, okay? They did not necessarily request or you know, come to you, okay? When I go to pay-per-click, it's a different scenario because they saw my ad, they clicked on it, so they got here, so the conversion rate will typically be a little bit higher, okay? Maybe it's 400, you know, out of 1,000, okay? Display media, similar approach, okay? Maybe it's 400. Does that make sense? So knowing these numbers, okay, I'm gonna average it out, and then I'm gonna say, okay, with CPA, I'm gonna pay you guys. I can literally have thousands of affiliates, okay, promote this page, and I can say, look, I will only pay you when somebody fills out their email address, okay, sends submit button, and they get taken to a confirmation page. It's going to say, hey, confirm your email. Okay, confirm your email. So that person needs to go and check their email inbox, okay, for an email from Vic, clicks and says, yep, I would like to get that information, and then they get on what's called a thank you page, okay? Okay? And this is where the pixel is going to fire. Boom. We just represent it like this. See what I'm saying? So what I'm doing is I'm going to the CPA network. I'm having thousands of people promoting my stuff, okay? But I'm only paying for, an opt-in. I'm paying for an action, okay? Now, for an opt-in, knowing my numbers, okay, I can pay up to whatever that makes sense to me to pay, okay? So I could pay up to $2 and $3 and $5 and potentially even higher, for a single opt-in that has been verified and confirmed, okay? I'm not running any sort of, potential, shenanigans here to work, by these affiliates. You see what I'm saying? Never, ever, ever. For those of you guys who are playing with CPA, never, ever, this is my advice for you. Again, not right or wrong, this is just my advice. Okay, never pay for a CPA when, as soon as they opt in, they go to a confirmation page, and this is where they charge you. Okay, because they can just send you a whole bunch of bots, and you'll be paying, money that you don't need to be paying. Okay, always have a process to where you vet them out, make sure that it's a real human, not some kind of robot. Now, the box I'm going to put this whole thing into, okay, is called retargeting. See, this, right here, that's my traffic blueprint right there. Okay, that's what I do. Very, very simple. You don't need to, you don't need 1,000 different channels to get traffic. You got 1, 2, 3, and this is totally optional, totally advanced. Okay. Yo, what's up? What's up? Can you guys see me? See, that's how we do it over here. Dark outside. Okay, make sense, you guys? Okay. Now this retargeting. Okay, retargeting. I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna do on social. Okay, and I'm going to do on pay-per-click platforms. Search. Okay, Google. Okay, so every click, check it out. When I send an email, and for those guys who go through the Operation 100K, episode 5 is where we actually do this. Okay, you'll see it. Retargeting. I'm gonna create a custom audiences list. Okay, very, very easy to do. Okay, custom audiences. Before I even send my first click, before I send my first test campaign to the email media realm over here. Okay, why? Because when somebody clicks on my landing page, even if they did not opt in, yeah, even if they did not opt in, I can still tag them, right? On social media, almost everybody's got a Facebook account, and so I'm creating a custom audiences list as long as they just visited my page at least once from any one of these sources. So what I'm doing is I'm building a giant pool of people that later on, if I'm playing an email, it's not like I'm not using this list yet, but it's building up, all right? Even when I'm playing in this territory, but then as soon as I expand it to pay-per-click, guess what? I already have a pool of people that have been to my site, but maybe they did not opt in. Now, when I go from email media to pay-per-click, guess what? My landing page just got modified a little bit, didn't it? Right? So it was like this part. Now when I go to pay-per-click, does this make sense, you guys? Now when I go to pay-per-click, I added more stuff to it. So when the same person, maybe they saw, a short version of this landing page and it didn't resonate with them, they didn't come in, okay? Maybe they, when they see more stuff here and I catch them on Facebook with a Facebook ad and they see it and it's got more information, they can become a subscriber, right? And I'm literally paying pennies for them. Make sense, everybody? Maybe I just talk to you like this, huh? All right, let's let me show you something else here. Okay, give me some feedback, though, guys. This make sense? What we got? What we got over here? What we got? You guys like it? Maya likes this. Okay, Pedro. Some of you guys joined up a little bit late. Maybe you might want to rewatch this from the beginning or something, if you want. Okay, we're just talking about traffic, creating, attracting people into your world. We're going to be talking about influence on Thursday, this coming Thursday. Okay, we're going to be talking about influence. I'll tell you about that in just a little bit here. Okay, give me one sec. I want to check something here. Okay. For those of you guys who, and I could show you a whole kinds of examples of landing pages and all that good stuff. Here's what I want to tell you though. Okay, I think the best way that I can help you, okay, in my opinion, is to take you by the hand and literally put you behind my shoulder and say, look, here's how I do it. Here's how I create. Again, building out a landing page is not difficult. Anybody can do it, right? It's the psychology that's really important. What do you write? What are the hooks? What do you, based on what you promote, how do you connect the dots? How do you make those, this whole, presentation, if you will, on your landing page, right? To make sense to people, to your audiences. So what we did, I told you in the beginning, we have this free level in the 4% group. There is free, there is pro level. Okay, there's two levels in the 4%. Okay, free level, you can come in with no credit card. We actually included, we have this thing called Operation 100K. For those guys who are not, do we have anybody who is a non-member of the 4%? You don't even know what this is. Let me show you guys something here, right? Because we have, okay, we have this. Okay, there should be a link somewhere to check it out if you want to. Totally optional. It's totally up to you if you want to do this or not. Okay. Now here is what you'll have access to. Okay, as a free member, you can click on the link. There should be in the description somewhere around this video. If it's got shared by somebody else or whatever, there is a link. You can probably come in and you can become a member for free. You have access to the 7 steps. But here's the most important thing that I can tell you. It's this thing called Operation 100K. Okay. And we have this thing is it was put on pause because we were changing platforms, etc. But this is the most incredible training that you will ever see in the entire industry, and that's I can't guarantee that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because there's a lot of theory going on out there. There's a lot of stuff like what I just showed you on the board, great ideas and everything, but you're like, okay, dude, now I gotta roll up my sleeves and do this. Well, with Operation 100K, what happens here is this is broken down into segments. So it's like a journey of me going on, from zero to creating $100,000 in affiliate commissions, promoting a product, okay? And I'm documenting my, every single step, okay? So step number 1 is, or like this is the opening episode, right? So we've got, a whole bunch of comments here. You can kind of see what people are talking about here. People love it. Okay, so if you really want a hands-on approach, definitely check it out. I think you will benefit from it a lot. Episode 1. Okay, so what's episode 1? Well, episode 1, it's locking your target. Okay, well, locking your target. How do I go about strategizing my campaign before I even run the campaign? And I literally, I'm walking through the entire thing. Shooting, it's time for me to either check the stats or without understanding says the video that you want. Okay, this is the intro. Okay, this is the video I'm talking about. See this right here? I'm literally like breaking this down. All right, sound. Okay. Sound is rolling. 3, 2, 1. Bam. Hey, welcome back. All right, so let's get to work right now. Yeah. You like if you don't like how I sound, this is going to be terrible for you because you'll hear a lot of Vic. But I basically take the strategy here and literally walk you through the entire thing. Here's the coolest part though. Like when you get to like episode 3, okay? When you get to episode 3, this is where I'm connecting everything, okay? This is where I'm basically setting up my multiple streams of income. I'm getting my funnel activated, my custom landing pages set up. This is where I create everything in front of you, Okay, it's literally step by step. You do step number 1, boom. You do step number 2, boom. It's literally impossible to get confused here. Okay, and setting up my custom tracking link, email follow up. How do I talk to my people? How do I run my full test campaign? All this good stuff. And so you get to communicate. Participate with the community. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, so here is. Let me flip this. Here's what I'd like to do, okay? We're looking in 2017, you guys, okay? We're looking for like literally tens of thousands. We have tons. We're gonna be releasing a new site for what we do for the 4%. We're not in transactions business, not for what we do. Okay, we're in transcendence business. So we want to take as many people that want to transcend to another level and become great at what they do, help them get there, right? Help them reach that level. In order to do that, the best way that I can do that, help you do that is literally show you what I do and being in the trenches with you, and you literally watch behind my shoulders, and if you want to model it, if you want to copy it for whatever else that you might be doing, you can apply this to anything else you want to apply this to. If you resonate with the vision, okay, if you resonate with what we do, you want to be a part of the team, you want to go deeper with us, you will be able to ascend and become a pro level member. Totally optional, not required. Okay, for free, you'll get more value than you probably that you usually would get with a premium level course or something like that. Okay, it's really, really good. Here's what we're looking for. We're looking for success stories and people that we can put in a spotlight, okay, and inspire a whole lot of other people, okay, inspire a whole new generation, okay, of entrepreneurs, and show people what's possible when you simplify things, when you, instead of focusing on all this theory and complexity stuff that everybody else seems to be focusing on, what if we just took everything and just kind of streamlined it, right, and brought it down to like a 3 or 4 key elements, right, that you focus on and you really master them and you become great at them. You don't need to know a lot. You need to know how to attract people. Okay, some of the stuff I shared with you here today. You need to know how to influence your people. Okay, the 64 people that you attracted. Okay, Paul earlier said, right, 64 people. Paul, how do you talk to those people that you will be able to influence them in a way that's good for them? Okay, get them to respond to what they wanted to respond to, but take them through the process to where they wouldn't look at you like this. What does he try to sell me? But it's creating this. It's creating communication. It's creating rapport. It's building relationship. And it's those 64 people will want to follow you for a long, long, long time. Does that make sense? So it's called Influence. Now this Thursday, okay, how many of you guys would like to get an invite for that webinar? Okay, we're going to do a webinar this Thursday coming up. What year was that? I think it was 2012, I want to say. Probably, I think it was 2012, maybe 2011. 2011, maybe 2012. I paid $10,000. I paid $10,000 for a 1-day consulting with a gentleman. Okay, and when I left that when I left that consultation, okay, when I got home, I just basically revolutionized my business in the way that I was presenting and explaining, and the way I was communicating with people, the way I was holding myself, and the whole posture, everything. Okay, and so the same guy that I paid $10,000 to, okay, to consult for 1 day, it's the same guy that trained people. I can Robert Allen, No Money Down. Russell Brunson. Let's see, Matt Lloyd, and being. Digital marketer guys, Jarek Robbins, Tony Robbins' son, Les Brown. Let's see, some of the biggest names that you know. Okay, they have trained with this guy. I'm going to have him with me this coming Thursday. Okay, on a live webinar. Okay, if you want to be invited, here's what you need to do. Go ahead and engage. Okay, just go ahead and share this or like this or do something. Okay, it's best if you do all 3. Comment. Let me know if you want to be here. Go ahead and share. I'm going to give you so much great information, okay? What I'm going to request in return from you, I'll be totally straight up with you, is engagement. The reason it's important for me is because I want to reach more people in 2017, straight up, okay? I'm not going to, beat around the bush. I'm not going to tell you something that's like, I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm on a mission of expansion this year, okay? 4% group, the reason we're giving away the free level and giving an ability for people to go through the first, I think 4 or 5, I think it's 4 episodes of the Operation 100K. Even if you're a free member, okay? You don't pay for it. Is because we want more people to get exposed to our work, okay? So we need expansion. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm going to reward people that will give us that. Okay, make sense? I'll give you tremendous, amount of information. Not like tremendous amount of information. I'll give you tremendous value, okay? Because you don't need the amount. Amount is really irrelevant. You need the most potent information that you can take to the bank. Does that make sense? Like when you put it to the test, you can get results, right? That's what and this is just 100% transparency with you, okay? That's what I'm looking for. So, if you're cool with that, go ahead and share this with your people. Let's do this together, I don't look at this business as a selfish thing. I could be selling these things for, a lot of dollars. But I'm looking for more success stories. I'm looking for more people that would see the vision, not the ones that would look for, why something wouldn't work before they even started. Not for the ones that look for, is this a scam in everything they see, right? I don't need you. Like if that's you, man, don't, this is my wall. I can tell you to go find somebody else's wall and hang out there. We don't need that. But I'm looking for people that are visionaries. I'm looking for people that will say, you know what, I can feel, I can feel something big, and let's do something great together. Because I think together we can achieve the impossible, and that's really what we're doing here with the 4%. That's what we're, setting out to do in 2017 with as many people as want to play with us. So again, if you're not a member of the 4%, you guys, I encourage you to check it out. You can join for free. You'll get access to the 7 Steps to Results program, which is also getting updated this week as well, okay? You will get access to the Operation 100K 4 episodes, okay? If you want to continue, the information you'll get will be worth many, many thousands for you. If you want to continue, you'll be asked to upgrade to a pro level, which is peanuts compared to what you already got. You'll be able to activate multiple streams of income. So ClickFunnels, I'll give you guys an example here, okay? Let me give you guys an example, a perfect example. This is a test account, okay? Let me show you a test account, okay? You guys want to see a test account? Check it out. Check it out. This is a test. Everybody know ClickFunnels, right? ClickFunnels test account. This is the power of the multiple streams of income that's integrated within the 4% group. Okay, for those guys who are pro level members, I did not run a single campaign. Okay, I did not run a single campaign for ClickFunnels, a single promotion. Okay, this account has never ran any ads yet. Okay, not like deliberate ads. This is a test, okay? Test. Indirect selling, this is what I'm talking about. Indirect selling, see that $53,000? Indirect selling, okay? That's what it is, okay? Miles Seegers, what are your numbers, man? I know Justin Varengia, a lot of you guys are getting, are getting commissions from the ClickFunnels. And this is like, we don't even sell it. It's just one of those tools that's just integrated, and people are coming in. If you need, to build a landing page, you will need to get it anyways. They might as well get it from you. Okay, it's incredible, And so what we do is we incorporate multiple streams of income that you can be getting checks from all these different companies. ClickFunnels, I don't pay you. ClickFunnels will pay you. Namecheap will pay you. ClickMagick will pay you. All these different cool tools that people are going to be getting anyways. Okay, they can be getting them, from you. So it's a really, really cool thing. I'm going to answer any questions you guys may have here. Okay, Miles Seegers made $8,000 up, to date, just over the last few months without lifting a finger. Did you ever promote ClickFunnels, Miles, or was did all that come from just you not even mentioning ClickFunnels? I mean, you didn't even have to mention ClickFunnels to anybody, let alone sell it. It's really, really cool. It works too. Okay, so I'm going to answer your questions, you guys here. Was this helpful, first of all? Okay, is this helpful? If it was helpful, give me some hearts or something. Let me know. Thursday, okay, mark your calendar. On Thursday, I'm going to have that same guy that I paid 10 grand to go coach for one day with, okay, took his training. It made me millions and millions and millions of dollars, okay? Millions of dollars. I'm going to have him with me. I'm going to interview him live, okay? He's also coming to the event, to the conference, the 4% conference, okay? He will be there. And some of the things that we're, some of the trainings that we're bringing onto the 4%, even for free, from this guy is going to be incredible. Okay, incredible. So everything, the entire topic for Thursday is going to be engagement. Okay, is going to be influence and persuasion and presenting your vision. Okay, a lot of the psychological stuff, you guys will love it. Okay, be here if you're interested. Okay. Okay, questions. Any questions about what we've covered today? It'll probably be 9 p.m. Eastern, about the same time. Okay, very helpful, very helpful. You're the man. Appreciate it, you guys. Appreciate. Glad that was helpful to you. Glad it made sense to you. Sometimes, try to explain these things, kind of difficult to make it so that it, it makes sense to people. Discount tickets for the event. Trent, tomorrow at 12 noon. Okay, so those guys who are inside of the 4% group, tomorrow 12 noon Eastern time. Tomorrow 12 noon Eastern time. We're going to have a live stream in our group, okay? And we're going to open up for 24 hours. We're going to open up early bird pricing one more time due to the little hiccup that we had. So be there tomorrow 12 noon, okay? And I'll tell you how to get those discounted tickets for the conference that we have coming up in March. Les Brown, Dave, Van Hoos, some of the top, Forbes Riley, some of the biggest influencers on Instagram will be there. The nation's top SEO guy will be there. Okay, I'll be there. It's going to be the conference to be for an online entrepreneur of 2017. Okay. 4%ers, you guys get advantage. We will be opening up to the general public a little bit later on, but we want to give our people the biggest, coolest deal possible. So if you want to get the coolest deal, make sure that you become a member today, so you can get with us on the webinar tomorrow when we present what we're doing for the 4%. We're also introducing this thing called the master level, the master affiliate level, to the group. It will be a limited edition to it. We'll talk about it tomorrow as well. Okay. How does one get the replay for part 1? Relona, it's also, the part 1 is inside of the 4% group. You guys can go there. Like, all you can do is just create yourself an account. Okay, create yourself an account to the 4%. The link should be somewhere in the description of this. And you would go, this is available to free members as well, by the way. Okay, so check it out. You see this webinar replays here? Okay, look at all these webinars there. See this? And load more. See this stuff? Okay, that's available to free members as well. And so there is a replay called Powerful Promoter Part 1. See that? This is the replay that you would watch. And what we're doing today is Part 2. Okay? Okay, the best thing you can do for yourself, this is just my opinion, I don't know, you take this information for what it's worth to you. But I think the best thing that you can do for yourself is become a member of the 4%, because just like looking at some things just from a strategy perspective, even if you're promoting, pens or bags or whatever, or your, consultancy business or selling books or whatever it is else that you're doing, it'll be very helpful for you, very helpful. And then if you so happen to resonate with our vision, you want to lock arms and you want to say, you know what, man, this is the coolest thing ever, then we're going to invite you to go further with us, and we're going to blow the doors off of this thing. Okay? Okay. Well, we'll be... when will I be able to upgrade my 4% account to Pro? Okay, so if you guys are it's not for everybody, but some of you guys' accounts, free members, and if you came in directly, okay, you are not able to upgrade to a Pro level because there is we're checking to make sure that you were not attached to any previous member or anything like that. So that should be that little verification should be falling out for you within the next few days, I'd say, sometime maybe this week. you'll be able to upgrade if you so choose, okay? Okay, this is very cool. So I don't see a lot of comment. So the first episode of the first, so is the first episode of Operation 100K free? No, you get 4 episodes free. You get first, second, third, and fourth. I'm not sure about fifth. I'm not sure if it's set up to be free or not. But you get at least 4 episodes free, free access to that. Okay? You get to see me literally build out landing page from scratch, thinking about the product, picking a product, doing the strategy session for it. And it's really, really cool. I'm not even using my name. I'm not using my list. I'm not using any of my contacts. I'm using a different name, because this is going to shatter 80 possible, thinking that, well, it worked for him because he is Vic, or he is that, or he is that, I'm coming into this as a totally green beginner, knowing what I know, using just a pen name to promote as an affiliate. It's really, really cool stuff. You guys will really dig it. Okay, you guys, look, we've been here for an hour and 30 minutes. I appreciate you all. Okay, I had a great time. I had fun hanging out with you. Thank you for, thank you for having a dream. Thank you for, investing in yourself. This is your time. This is your year. Okay, if you don't invest in yourself, nobody else will. You know what I mean? The best investment you can make is in yourself. The best investment I can make is in myself as well. And so I'm going to do what I need to do to grow my business, and I'm going to challenge you to do the same thing. Okay, so do whatever you need to do to grow your business. Okay, speaking of advertising, Operation 100K, you get to watch me run campaigns. You get to watch me build out campaigns from that, and I follow that model. I showed you the email media, going to the pay-per-click, setting up all the, the retargeting, custom audiences, going to display media, and then eventually we'll be going to CPA. You get to see everything. Okay, again, I'm not joking when I say this is probably the coolest training you will ever embark on. Okay? You guys, look, I appreciate you. Be awesome. Stay cool. I'll see many of you on Thursday. Go ahead and share this. We'll be sure to get you, priority invite for that. There's probably going to be a lot of people. With that being said, this is a wrap. Hope you got a nugget or two from this. I'll leave this here on this page for a little bit. This will also be posted in the 4% members area. For those of you guys who are members, and you'll be able to watch the replay there. Okay? Appreciate you all. Many blessings to you, and be awesome. Cheers. I'm out.